all to LawSikho's thorough newspaper analysis for 30th of October 2023. That is today's Monday. Okay. So let us start with the today's agenda. We did had some political editorials in the Hindu and Indian Express, but they were not related to examination purposes or competitive exam purposes. So we have not covered them today. We'll be covering two things: news update and the legal news update. So let us start with the national news of the day. Okay, chale. India abstains from UN vote calling for truce in Israel without mentioning Hamas. So, India has recently abstained from voting on a resolution in the United Nations that called for an immediate humanitarian truce in the ongoing Israel Hamas conflict. The resolution drafted by the Jordan also called for unhindered humanitarian access in the Gaza Strip but had no mention of Hamas. Now, Canada proposed an amendment that a paragraph condemning the terrorist attack by Hamas be inserted. So, what happened? There was a UN vote in which India has abstained from voting. Jordan has also put his point, but Canada has told that we need an amendment in condemning the terrorist attack by the Hamas, which needs to be inserted. India voted in favor of Canada proposed amendment along with 87 other nations, but it could not be adopted as it did not have a two-third majority. Now, the Jordan drafted resolution, which talked about unhindered humanitarian access in Gaza Strip, which titled Protection of Civilians and Upholding Legal and Humanitarian Obligations, was adopted by 120 nations, voting in its favor. India, Australia, Canada, Germany, Japan, Ukraine, and UK abstained from voting on this particular resolution, which was taken up by the Jordan. The resolution referred to Israel as the occupying power. The resolution called for rescinding of the order by Israel, the occupying power, for Palestinian civilization, UN staff, and humanitarian workers to evacuate all areas in the Gaza Strip north of Wadi Gaza and relocate to south. So the particular resolution was related to the war that is going on. Clear? So there was a resolution from Jordan and the Canada, and there was two groups that were made in which India voted in favor of Canadian resolution. Now, India healing towards groundwater depletion tipping point warns UN reports. So this is the news which is particularly related to the climate change which is happening. India is very close to reaching the groundwater depletion tipping point, which is the report published by United Nations University Institute for Environment and Human Security. The report, which titled Interconnected Disaster Risk Report 2023, in which it talked about accelerating extinctions, groundwater depletion, mountain glacier melting, space debris, unbearable heat, and an uninsurable future. Okay, according to the report, 78% of the wells in Punjab are considered overexploited, and the northwestern region as a whole is predicted to experience critically low groundwater availability by 2025. So it's a very major point. We need to think about this, that the groundwater depletion is up to tip and it will be critically low till 2025. Around 30% of world's fresh water is stored as groundwater and occasionally brought to the surface through spring, lakes, and streams, or is extracted from wells. Groundwater depletion rates worldwide have accelerated since the mid 20th century, the report said, to the extent that groundwater is a non-trivial contributor to sea level rise. Now, the fact here is India is the world's largest user of groundwater, exceeding the use of United States and China combined. So we are the world largest user of groundwater here. Okay. The next national news of the day we are talking about is India creates history in Asia Para Games 2023 and campaign with a record medal haul. So India has created history in the Asian Para Games 2023 as a best ever performance of 111 medals in China. Okay, the India record making medals are The 72 medals in 2018 includes 29 gold medals, 31 silver, and 51 bronze. In the overall leaderboard, that is the points table, India finished in fifth position, which is also their best ever standing. Okay? Now, meanwhile, India also bagged 2 medals across 19 events, 10 in athletics, 7 in badminton, 1 each in powerlifting and shooting. Meanwhile, there were also first ever medal in power rowing, power taekwondo, and para pony. So, this is the biggest achievement where our Para Games 2023 has been finished with 111 medals in India. Now, launch of third Actcm Barge Lsam 17-yard 127 at Messrs Suryadipta Projects Private Limited, Thane. So, you know, the launch of third ammunition come torpedo come missile Barge Lsam 17 on October 27th at Messrs Suryadipta Projects Private Limited, Thane. With all the major auxiliary equipment system acquired from Indian producers, this Barge is a proud supporter of the Ministry of Defence Make in India project. Two barges were successfully delivered by MSME shipyard. These barges are being constructed in accordance with the Indian Register of Shipping classification criteria. So these are the particular, addition in the Ministry of Defense, and we are proudly saying that it is under the Make in India project. Okay. चले former union minister Sartaj Singh passes away in Madhya Pradesh. So who was Sartaj Singh? Sartaj Singh is former union minister and senior Bharatiya Janata Party leader which who died in hospital in Madhya Pradesh in capital Bhopal due to brief illness. He was 83 and is survived by a wife and 3 daughters. Singh came into the limelight in 1998 after he defeated powerful Congress leader and former union minister late Arjun Singh from Hoshangabad Lok Sabha constituency. Okay. During 2013 to 18, he served as a forest minister in the cabinet led by Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan. When BJP denied him a ticket for contesting MP Assembly polls in 2018, he joined Congress and contested as its candidate. The international news coming up, Malaysian sultans choose new king in unique rotational monarchy. Malaysia has announced that its next and 17th king will be Sultan Ibrahim Sultan Iskandar from the southern state of Johor. Okay, now Sultan Ibrahim was chosen by the country 9 sultans at a session of Congress of Rulers on Friday and will be installed on 31st January next year. Okay. King Al Sultan Abdullah has used the monarch discretionary power to choose the country's last 3 prime minister, including after the election in 2022 when no single party won a parliamentary majority. Sultan Ibrahim, who is said to have a passion for fast cars and motorbike and an extensive business interest, is also known for taking an annual road trip around Johor to meet the people of the state. Okay. Sultan Ibrahim father was the country's 8th king who hold the throne from 1984 and 1989. So Malaysian Sultan choose new king in unique rotational monarchy. Now, the legal update which are coming, limitation for specific performance suit runs from the date when plaintiff had notice of refusal when no date is fixed for performance. So, this is the case which is related to the Limitation Act 1963. It's a Supreme Court case and the case name is SABBIR death through legal representative versus ANJUMAN since deceased through legal representative. Now, the Supreme Court dismissed a suit arising from an agreement to sell, noted that the agreement to sell was dated on 31st of July 1975. The suit was filed by respondent named Anjuman on 1st 1981. Now, the court further analyzed Article 54 of the Schedule to the Limitation Act 1963. The limitation for filing a suit for specific performance is 3 years from the date fixed for performance, or if no such date is fixed, when the plaintiff has noticed that the performance is refused. The court hold that in the pleading of the plaintiff, Even after 5.5 years, there was no averment that the respondent was ready and willing to perform its obligation under the agreement to sell and pay the balance remaining amount. In the view, the court opinion that it is enough for the suit of the respondent to be dismissed on the ground of limitation alone. So what the court held that limitation for specific performance starts when the plaintiff had notice of refusal when no date is fixed for performance. Clear, guys? Clear? It's related to Limitation Act 1963 and it's an apt case for judicial services aspirant. Now, the next case, employer cannot hire, fire even if employee is accused of misconduct since fair opportunity of hearing, which is coming from the Rajasthan High Court. Now, Rajasthan High Court has recently set aside the state government order that dismissed a physical education teacher for furnishing a fraud sports certificate for getting appointment on the ground that the said teacher was not given any notice of charge sheet and there was no inquiry conducted against him. So this case is related to the fair opportunity of hearing. The court, the particular case is coming from a single judge bench by Justice Anup Kumar and said that the order is manifestly stigmatic action taken to terminate petitioner service. Such action could not have been taken against the petitioner without giving an opportunity of hearing to defend and after holding a regular departmental inquiry. The employer is not allowed to hire, fire, even if the allegations are there against the employee with regard to any misconduct. The services cannot be given a go-by by one stroke of pen on the ground of misconduct by casting stigma without holding a regular inquiry. So court noted that the inquiry contemplated under Article 311 of the Constitution of India is what is generally known as departmental inquiry and the proper inquiry should be given which have twofold. The civil servant must be informed of the charges against him first and second, he must be given a reasonable opportunity of being heard in respect of those charges. So what does the court said? The court said that the right of fair hearing should be given to the person, even if that person is accused of a misconduct. And this particular case is linked with Article 311 of the Constitution of India. Clear, guys? Chale? That's all for the today's news update. अगर आपको सैटरडे के टीएनए का रिवीजन करना है तो आज के टीएनए के डिस्क्रिप्शन में जो लिंक दिया गया है वो क्विज का लिंक है, उसे अटेम्प्ट करें so that you can be very good with the revision of the particular TNS and that will help you out in giving the competitive exam और revision के लिए बहुत अच्छा रहेगा. Secondly, do tell us, give any feedback if you feel like, and अगर आपको ये particular TNS slides कुछ भी it gives a content, it gives a knowledge to you, please subscribe our channel and share with your other students and friends. Thank you for watching and take care.